Sandra here.
Hi everybody, it's Jeanette.
My fiance, soon to be wife. So today we are coming at you with some haunted, paranormal, spooky, weird stories. Like, I don't know, it's not weird, but just like interesting things that have happened to us. And as you can see, we're sitting in front of our spookified fireplace here. Try to get in the background, real cute. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll start. What story do you want to start with? So our first story is gonna kind of be just like a little all over the place because it's a series of events, like the books, that like happen all in the same place. So it's gonna be like spread out through what, a year and a half, almost 2 years. So we moved into our first place, our last place that we lived in, as you guys know, at the end of 2015. And during that year and 8 months or whatever that we lived there, a lot of really weird, paranormal, and just bad things happened there. We often talk about how that house just did not have good energy for us. Almost instantly, when we moved in there, I started experiencing depression. I dealt with depression really badly all of last year while living there. We would just feel negative energy. Like, I would tell her sometimes when I'd come home, I just felt so heavy and weighed down with bad energy. And then for days, I wouldn't want to get out of bed and stuff, and I just want to like lay around the house all day. And it just like, overall, it just didn't feel good. Hold on, side thing is, I do sage homes. I often forget to like periodically redo it because I know bad energies and spirits can like come back or show back up. So I often forget to like re-sage a place, but I saged there when we first moved in, and I honestly don't think I ever did again. I know I saged us when we like meditated and things like that, but I don't think I ever went through the home again and cleared the energy, which could be definitely an indicator as to why things went down. So Jeanette will start because I think she was the first one to notice anything like bad.
Yes, actually. It was one night where Cassandra was at work and I was upstairs, and Yoshi out of nowhere was just uncomfortably, like, just, he was barking and barking and barking, staring at the direction of the door, and he was growling and just barking, and I was like, Yoshi, what's wrong? What's, you know, like, what is it? Come on, it's okay, you know? I didn't hear anything, but just the knowing, it just didn't feel right. Just the feeling of someone's presence was just like strong. He was
and when
on.
we say that he barked, like he got like cat stew, like he gets poofy.
Yeah,
all the hairs on the back of his neck stand up, and he just got like very like, what's there? Like as if a stranger entered the room, you know?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, you know, I was like, it's okay, you know, it's okay. But again,
it
was just
putting you on edge.
Yeah, and I was like, so I got up off the bed, went to sit downstairs, and I didn't hear anything, nothing. Yoshi wouldn't come with me. He literally stayed in the room.
And so I've had like the same things when she's been away at work at night. But in that home, something about us never wanted to hang out in the living room alone. So I was the same thing. I'm upstairs on the computer or whatever, and Yoshi did the same thing. All of his hair stood on end. He started growling and barking. Only this time, what was different for me was he actually went out of the room and stood at the top of the stairway looking down into to downstairs, growling and barking. Now, unlike her, I don't leave lights off in rooms I'm not in. I know that's really bad considering we try to be very environmental, but I'm a freaking scary cat with the dark. I hate the dark. I leave lights on like down in the living room at least so that it's bright when I go back in. And so he's staring down there, down the stairway, growling and barking, and I'm like scared. I'm like afraid to go down the stairs. And our stairs were in a way so that people would see your feet like way before you would come, you know? So I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna see me.
First.
Like, yes, like, but of course I get the courage and I kind of like peek my head down like that, like down the little crack, and yeah, and there's nothing, of course, and the same, and I end up going down there with him, and he followed me, unlike her, and there was nothing. We looked around, I'm like, what is it, Yoshi? And nothing. There's nobody there, there's nothing there. But again, that feeling of not being alone, and that feeling of like being watched, like, okay, somebody's watching me do this. I had that feeling all the time when home alone there, especially at night, that feeling of like somebody's watching me look around, someone's watching me close curtains, check doors, and it's like, it's such a horrible feeling because you're like, there's nobody here, I logically know that, but I feel it. I feel a presence, you know? Okay, so then we have one of the weirder things that would happen. We actually experience things together, which would be, we would be on the couch in the living room. Yeah. The first time this ever happened to us, Jeanette, well, you can tell it because it freaked you out, what we were doing.
Well, we were just sitting in the couch and we were talking about conspiracy theories, and then we got more into the Mandela effects, and she was explaining that to me.
Explaining what it was.
Yeah, and then I was,
it was like freaking her out.
It literally does. That's the freaks me out.
Like the conspiracy theories and stuff, they're getting both of us like a little on edge and creeped out. And then so we tried to go into Mandela effects to be a little like more lighthearted. And I was like on Reddit, like showing her ones and explaining them to her and stuff. When
someone knocks on our front door.
The way you say it, it just seems so sad. No, yeah, we heard someone knocking on the door. And even the dog heard it. He went up, like ears perked, got all poofy, and his ears went up, and we look, and we're like, oh my gosh. We look out, nothing. We look out the window because we have a huge window right next to the door, and we peek out to see if anyone's trying to hide next to the door and fuck with us. There's nobody there. We're so creeped out and on edge, and finally we get the courage up, and we open the door and walk out there. There's no one there. We go all the way up to the street, look down the street, nobody. And her and I look at each other and we're like, really? Like while we're looking at conspiracy theories and things like that? We would have like tapping a lot. There would be like a, because it wasn't always like a knock, knock. Sometimes it was a simple tap. Like it seemed like someone went up and like, you know, hit their fingers like against the door. Or another time there was like a thud. Once it wasn't a knock, it was like a, remember? A thud, and we expected literally to see something sitting on the porch. Nothing there. It was so weird, and the dog every time would hear it too, and he would look and he would be like, who's at the door? One of the times he opened the door and he charged out barking. Remember?
Yes.
We open it to see what's there, and he charges out barking into the night. There's nobody there.
And he ran. I was like, where?
And like I said, and the energy in that house just continued to weigh on us and get heavier and worse. Just in general, if that house wasn't super haunted, the energy of it was just off and wrong. And that's when I got into a little bit of feng shui to figure out how to make the energy more positive here in this house, because it just was not good. It just weighed very heavy on our souls.